Hi, good morning guys, thanks for joining me. Well, I thought we'd do today's video to talk about one of the items which I like to add into the winter fire kit. Throughout the warmer months, you know, I don't need that many different things, but during the winter time I like to add something like a magnesium bar or a magnesium rod. Again, to start wet weather fires, just one of these little bars themselves, you can perhaps get hundreds of fires out of these. And again, the trend tends to be that a lot of people like to carry them, but you don't actually see many people using them. So that's something which I thought we'd do today, to show you just a couple of the uses, how good they actually are, and also how easy they are to get them combusted. When it actually comes to buying magnesium rods or magnesium bars, you can buy it in three different forms. You can either buy just the rod form like this. I think these are some kind of eating element, and actually purchase these off Amazon, £7.50 for 3 of them. So again, you know, this rod itself's lasted me the past couple of years or the past couple of seasons. And I've also got a couple more there, so these are going to last me, you know, for a few more years yet. You can also buy it just in the powdered form, which has already been scraped down, but tend to find with that kind of stuff, you know, it's quite expensive for what you do get. It's just easier to just buy one of these rods, scrape it down as and when you need it. It also means that when it comes to carrying it in your kit, you know, just in this form here, there's less chance of actually losing it or spilling it everywhere. And also you can just buy it just in one of the little block forms. And again, over the years, I think them cheap little Chinese blocks have put a lot of people off using the magnesium, but these rods here I think were 99.9% pure. And again, you know, they burn very hot, they burn very bright, and they ignite very easily. If you had anything negative to say about using magnesium, it'd just be down to the fact that it does burn away very quickly. So just like a flash tinder, like thistle heads and cattails and the likes, you just got to make sure that you've actually got other ingredients added to it before it becomes efficient. So I think that's one of the mistakes a lot of people make. They probably just scrape a little bit off, pile on all the ingredients for the fire, light it, it burns out really quickly, and then you've got to start all over again. So what I've actually done here, which you've seen, just scraped it down just by using the back of the knife, and then with that you can just get the little ribbons, just roll them into a small little ball like this. It's just going to help it just to burn a little bit longer, but also then it's just going to stop the wind from actually blowing things away. So as you saw there, that burnt very bright, it's also burnt very hot, but like I mentioned, magnesium's let down with the fat, it just burns away very, very quickly. So what we actually did there, just compressing all the little fibres together, all the little ribbons together, just allowed it just to burn a little bit longer. But what I'm going to do now is just show you just how to make an emergency fire starter, just by using the magnesium, and also just a little bit of Gorilla tape just on the handle here. So just like a lot of people do when they make taped handles for ferro rods, I've done exactly the same kind of thing on the magnesium rod here. Again, just how to Gorilla tape, it's a nice flammable material, and it's just going to help in two folds. One, to hold the rod when I'm scraping it down, but also it's going to help as a tinder. So again, what a lot of people do, they'd actually unpeel it, just rip it down into little strands, then you can actually just like that with a ferro rod or perhaps a cigarette lighter. But the beauty with the magnesium, you haven't got to worry about ripping it down, it's just going to make the job just a lot easier and a lot quicker. You can just rip a big chunk of tape off, just pack it full of the magnesium and use that as a fire starter. So once you've got your piece of tape ripped off, just like that, I like to just fold over just one end, it just stops everything from sticking to my fingers. Then we're just going to get the magnesium and just pack it just inside the tape, and then we're just going to roll it up just like a sausage roll. And then it means that the magnesium will ignite, and then we're just going to burn the tape, which is going to last a lot longer than perhaps just using the magnesium on its own. So just rolling it just nice and tightly, you can make as many of these as you want. I tend to just use 2 or 3 at a time, and then you can actually use just a cigarette lighter or your ferro rod like I mentioned, just to ignite them just in the first place. So as you saw there, the fire starters went up very easily and they burnt for quite a few minutes, and again, being very wind resistant, something what I'm looking for today. It just means during the bad weather, perhaps you're getting in camp late at night and it's been throwing down with rain, it just means then you don't have to start looking for birch bark or carving feather sticks and out and the likes. Just packing just a little bit of tape with the magnesium, setting it on fire will pretty much get most fires lit. So what we've actually got here is another little ball of magnesium. Again, we've just compressed it just so it burns just a little bit longer. What I'm going to do is just show you how it actually reacts if you pour water onto it. Unlike a lot of fire starters which may go out, The difference with the magnesium, it produces an hydrogen gas. That gas then combusts and actually burns just a lot more fiercely. It will burn out this little bit of magnesium quite quickly, but just as a little bit of a demonstration just to show you what actually happens to it. So as you saw that, like I mentioned, it did go out quite quickly, purely for the fact there was only a little bit of magnesium. That initial burst, you know, was the hydrogen gas burning off, and then if there's more magnesium there and you pour more water on it, the exact same reaction would take place. It just happened that it burnt it out very quickly, and then just the last little bit of water just actually extinguished the fire. So again, if it is that you've got damp tinders and the likes, you know, don't worry about using magnesium. That little bit of moisture is actually going to help it burn just a lot more aggressively and a lot more hotter. So when it comes to making your standard campfire by using the magnesium as a tinder source, this is where I say a lot of people seem to get it wrong. You get a nice little pile in the fire pit, you light it and it's ignited and gone out before the fire's actually got established. So over the years I've played about with this stuff and I've actually found the best way is actually mix it in with your tinder. So what I got for the tinder source on this fire isn't very spectacular, just a little bit of pine needles, just some scraped down wood, some scraped down bark. So what we're going to do, just making sure we've actually got enough magnesium scraped down as well, we're just going to mix that into the pile, and then instead of building the fire up slowly, we're just going to ignite that, and then just at the sides of me here, I've actually got some damp bracken and small little twigs, and then just going up just into the larger stages, and as soon as this is lit, we're going to place on the bracken, and then we're going to place on the sticks, and any moisture in it's going to dry out, and then hopefully this fire's going to get going, and then we can have a nice cup of tea from that. So just making sure that you're going off of everything. So we've got the little tinder pile in the centre there, we're just going to mix in just quite an ample amount of the magnesium as well. And if you wanted to, you could just scrape it down just into a little tin like I've done here, just to stop everything blowing away, and just making sure you've actually got enough materials just in the first place. So everything there is now mixed together. We're just going to ignite it, just keeping everything at hand just at the side of us. Then once this is lit, like I mentioned, we're just going to start piling on just the other little piles here. And as you can see now, after a few minutes, we've got a nice sustaining fire here. I could actually just walk off and deal with a couple of things under the top and probably come back in about 5 or 10 minutes and this thing would still be burning. So just showing you there, that magnesium went up very, very fast. It was very, very hot. You got that tinder bursting into flame. And this is the end result now. Just a nice easy fire that we could cook a bit of food on, boil a little bit of water, or like I'm doing at the moment, just warming up the old hands. So there we have it guys, just a bit about the magnesium bar or the magnesium rod. Not necessarily a gimmicky item in my opinion. Hopefully I've just showed you just a couple of uses which you can actually use it for. And again, if it is again into camp late at night, you just want to get a quick fire lit, or perhaps all your tinder's wet, just using something like the magnesium rod is going to get that stuff lit as well. And again, if it is using wet fire, it's just going to last a lot longer, and also the cost of them, you know, is pennies per fire. So like always guys, I'll just leave and say thanks a lot for you stopping by and watching the video like always. Until next time, you take care, and I'll see you again.